Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing a few statements brought to us by Ninjago series head writer Doc Wyatt over on Blue Sky. We just have a collection of statements and answers here today that I feel like we should probably talk about in preparation for Dragons Rising Season 3 and the future. We are going to talk about a few topics in today's video. The first one involves Jay and how exactly he is feeling following his loss from Season 2 Part 2 in the Tournament of the Sources. So someone asks Doc Wyatt a few questions here, some of which we will talk about as well in upcoming videos, but the one that we are focusing on for this video is question number 2. Was Jay mad at Lord Ras after he sent him away or just sad? Doc Wyatt replies, he was mad, in all caps, and also sad. The reason why this is significant is because we have been discussing a lot about how exactly Jay will work in the context of Dragons Rising Season 3 and whose side he will be on. All things considered, Jay here is kind of on his own side. He's not allied with the ninja. As far as we know, he's not allied with the Forbidden Five, and he most definitely is not allied with Arin and Lord Ras. In fact, in one of the pieces of footage for Dragons Rising Season 3 that we've received via the Oku TV spot, Jay or Rogue can be seen holding onto the wing of Arin and Ras's jet. There's been some debate as to whether or not that is Jay/Rogue, but a lot of Ninjago fans are under the impression that yes, that is Jay, and this is Jay trying to exact revenge on Lord Ras for what happened following Jay's loss in the Tournament of the Sources. And again, going back to what Doc Wyatt said with Jay was mad in all caps, I feel like Jay will be on a bit of a revenge quest here. The ninja will be searching for Jay, and Jay will be searching for Lord Ras, and I guess by default Arin, since those two are kind of allied with each other. Either way, I think we will see Jay go on some type of revenge quest in Season 3, and again, it does kind of go in line with what we know so far about Jay and whose side he's on. All things considered, Jay is kind of just on his own side here. The next topic of discussion here comes in the form of a question surrounding Mr. Frohickey and whether or not his tribe was affected by the Forbidden Five during their reign over the wildness. Someone asks here, was Frohickey's tribe affected by the advance of the Forbidden Five? To which Doc Wyatt replies with yes. Now, given that statement, we can now confirm that Mr. Frohickey's tribe was one of the tribes that was attacked, probably decimated, wiped out to an extreme number by the Forbidden Five during their conquest in the wildness. We could see a similar thing happening with Lord Ras's tribe in the context of Season 2, thanks to flashbacks. Now, while this might not seem like the biggest deal in the world, I feel like this could lead to some genuine character development for Mr. Frohickey in Season 3. I am not a Mr. Frohickey fan. I've been a pretty avid hater of Mr. Frohickey for quite a long time. However, if Mr. Frohickey does have some history with the Forbidden Five in the context of his tribe was previously wiped out by them, that could lead him to actually have an arc in Season 3. Maybe he is very supportive of the ninja trying to take down the Five. We've also talked about in previous videos how various members of the ninja team might be doing different things. Some will be going after the Five and the prismatic blades, others will be going after Jay. Maybe Mr. Frohickey is a little bit judgmental towards the ninja that choose to go after Jay instead of trying to attack and take down the Forbidden Five. Maybe we will see Mr. Frohickey himself join the battle as some type of personal revenge quest on the Forbidden Five. I think that's entirely possible, and I feel like, again, this could lead to some very awesome and, frankly, very needed character development for Mr. Frohickey in Season 3. Next up here, we have this statement which I thought was interesting. Someone asks this question, I have a question about the red cracks of Arin's Spinjitzu. Is that a sign of Arin using a corrupted form of Spinjitzu that shatters his goodness? And they also talk about Garmadon possibly returning. Doc Wyatt can't comment on that, obviously. However, he does say that he's glad that we are paying attention to the red energy. Yeah, so the red energy we've talked about before too. Whenever Arin does Spinjitzu, of course in Season 2 Part 2, following him properly learning Spinjitzu thanks to the teachings of Lord Ras, his Spinjitzu is kind of outlined with this mysterious red energy, not unlike Shatterspin. I feel like, again, this kind of represents Arin learning Spinjitzu, sure, but not through the the traditional or purified methods. This could have been some type of dark alternative, maybe a shortcut to learning Spinjitzu that Arin just desperately needed to take. Not sure if it's going to shatter his goodness though, but apparently it does matter because Doc Wyatt again is glad that we are paying attention to it, so I guess it will come up eventually. I'm sure it will be relevant later on. The next question here involves the Forbidden Five and how long they were active before being defeated by the Dragon Masters, Egalt and Rontu. Someone asks essentially, how long were the Forbidden Five active from their foundation to the day they were defeated by the force from the east? Doc Wyatt replies, I'd say roughly a decade. The reason I think this is important is because not only does this actually confirm to us how long the Five were active and how long the Wildness conquest lasted, but it also drives the parallels with the Ninja team even more. The Ninja team has been active for well over a decade at this point, I would say. I know the Ninjago timeline is very messy and nobody can really agree on it, but I feel like since Dragon's Rising has started, it has easily been 10 years since the Ninja team was founded. I would argue even longer than that. I feel like right now the Ninja in terms of ages are all in their late 20s, even early 30s at this point, ever since the merge happened. So again, I feel like it's been a while. And with that being said, again, the parallels are really strong here. One team was formed, but for a decade they fought against evil in the name of good. The other team spent their decade together trying to overtake another realm, using their powers for evil, not necessarily for good. Again, that just drives home the parallels between the Five and the Ninja even further, and I just thought it was worth talking about very briefly. And finally here, to end on a very funny note, someone asks this question about two characters that I don't think anyone else was curious about. Have you given any thought as to where Brad Tootabone or Gene are today? To be honest, I don't care about Gene much, but would love to see Brad and Lloyd reunite, even if he just runs a flower shop in the Crossroads or something. Doc Wyatt replies, I'm sorry, but we failed you. In no writer sessions have we contemplated the current activities of Brad or Gene. Yeah, so in case you guys don't know who Brad or Gene are, they were fellow students of the Darkleys boarding school. We saw them for the first time back in season 2. I think it would be interesting to see where these characters are now in the modern day. Obviously, they would be a lot older. They would actively have jobs, I imagine. So again, maybe they could be running a flower shop in the Crossroads or something. I think it would also be fun for Lloyd to actually reunite with his old classmates / bullies. I think that would be really interesting. Like I said though, I'm not sure if anyone else has given any thought as to where Brad or Gene are. It doesn't even sound like the writers of the show really care that much about those two characters, but I think it would be interesting now that I think about it to see where they are today. But with that being said, everyone, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here. Those have been my thoughts on a few statements made by Doc Wyatt over on Blue Sky. A lot of interesting stuff to talk about for today's video, so feel free to leave all of your thoughts, theories, speculation, comments, all of that down below, and thank you so much for tuning in. We still have more questions and answers to talk about in the future, so stay tuned. In the meantime, let me know what you think about everything that we've discussed here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.